Welcome back to this course on Introduction to Cybersecurity, a presentation of Coding Bootcamps. Introduction to penetration testing and how penetration testing works. So, what is enterprise cybersecurity penetration testing? What are the phases of penetrating into the information systems of an enterprise? What are the different types of penetration testing? What tools are used for penetration testing? What we've learned so far, we had our introduction to cybersecurity and encryption, computing device and application security, and network security. So penetration testing is the answer to a simple question. How am I going to penetrate all of the systems that are set up to protect an enterprise's information and computing systems? How will I be able to penetrate the safeguards that are put up that are protecting the network? So, what vulnerabilities are available to me to exploit so that I can penetrate an enterprise's information, network, and computing systems? Any flaws in design of the hardware or software, the firewall, anything like that? Usage of an unsecured network. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi that is not secure, does not have a password, or the password is well known. Poorly configured computing systems and network applications. Complex architecture of computing systems, and also human error. It also could be out-of-date operating systems, out-of-date applications. So what are some phases of penetration testing? Well, first, reconnaissance and planning is going to be done. Look for the vulnerabilities and start to plan how those vulnerabilities are going to be exploited. Scan. So scanning does a lot of work in a short amount of time, more than what could be done manually. Actually exploit those vulnerabilities, analyze the risks, and make remediation recommendations, and report on what was found, what was scanned, what was exploited, what are the risks, and what are the recommendations for remediation. So for report generation, recommendations are made in the previous phase of vulnerabilities that were discovered and the risk levels that are that exist. An overall summary of the penetration testing and suggestions for remediation and future security. Some types of penetration testing: black box testing, where there is zero knowledge of either the enterprise or the information system to which we are trying to gain access. That involves a lot of guessing. So that could be using very intuitive type of names for systems, guessing passwords, maybe using social media to find out people's birthdays or the names of their children. It involves a lot of guessing, but once something is found, we can provide information to the attacker. Gray box testing, where there is some kind of a test based on some knowledge, and then based on the results of that test, even if it's an error, may start to give some information on a vulnerability or a way to penetrate that enterprise's safeguards and get into their network. And then white box testing can come from some kind of industrial espionage, full knowledge on the system, a rogue employee, an employee that has been maybe terminated, a contractor that has gone in and gotten some knowledge. So that is also a type of penetration testing. And penetration testing types based on the position of the tester. So we can see here external, also internal. Consultant, anybody that gains access to inside the secure perimeter can penetrate the system. You can do blind testing, targeted testing, de-blind testing. These are very similar to the black box testing. Target is similar to the white box testing. Wireless, as in Wi-Fi's or devices, we can do penetration testing through there. Web applications we've talked about, gaining access to the firm's computing system through web applications. network services also, and also any kind of client information, like a tool that they give me. Maybe it's a mobile application or a web application. And then there's network penetration testing using a secure shell. These secure shells are like command line shells, which help us to penetrate the network. Databases, so if we see if we can access the database or compromise the database in some way. Email, this is an email protocol right here. We see what we can do as far as email, as far as putting malware inside that could open up, say, a port or open or grant access to somebody from the outside. And also file transfer protocol, which is a way of transferring files. If it's not encrypted, it's possible that we could send files inside of the enterprise, which can actually execute and grant access to a malicious third party. So application penetration testing, here the tester checks if there are any known vulnerabilities or weaknesses, and looks at web-based applications to see if there's anything discovered within that. Core application components, such as any kind of applications or Java applets or APIs, are also examined. Do they give some kind of an entry to a malicious third party? And so this type of testing does require a lot of time, a lot of patience. However, hackers are often very, very patient. Wireless penetration testing includes testing wireless devices to see how secure they are. Can they be used to grant access? Wi-Fi's as well, are they secure? Tablets, notebooks, smartphones. These tests spot vulnerabilities in terms of these wireless access points. Are they properly secured by credentials and wireless protocols? Social engineering is really a way of tricking somebody to reveal confidential information or sensitive information. There are two subsets here. Remote testing involves tricking an employee to reveal sensitive information by electronic means, and that can be done really by using phishing. Or physical testing involves the use of physical means to gather information, like threaten or blackmail an employee, extort the information from them. Client-side penetration testing. Here we identify security issues in terms of software running on customer workstations. The goal here is to search and exploit vulnerabilities on client-side software programs. Web browsers are a good example. So we're looking for here content creation software packages such as Adobe, other media players. These can be exploited, and sometimes they can even have malware running on them. Some of the tools for penetration testing. We hear Nessus is a network and web application security scanner. Scanners are actually very useful because they can do a lot of work in a short amount of time and scan for known or possible vulnerabilities. Metasploit is another exploitation framework. A skilled attacker can penetrate certain payloads, shell codes, gain access, and perform privilege escalation attacks using Metasploit. So our penetration tester wants to take advantage of these tools to see if it can be done. It's kind of like inspecting a bridge, looking for vulnerabilities in that bridge and making that known so it can be repaired. There's also network mappers that may be able to scan for ports that can give opening to the system and networks or look for vulnerabilities over ports. Wireshark is a tool for profiling network traffic to analyze packets to see where they're coming from. Is there consistency in the headers and in maybe some countries that they may be coming from? Other tools like John the Ripper, the Burp Suite, Cain and Abel are also very popular penetration testing tools. So in this lesson, we learned about the penetration testing and phases, different types of penetration testing, and penetration testing tools. Our follow-up session, a general perspective toward hacking and ethical hacking, white hat hackers versus black hat hackers, categories of hacking, hackers versus crackers. Again, please look into these courses, Introduction to the Linux Operating System, Blockchain Cybersecurity, and Python Programming. Thank you again for watching this video, a presentation of coding boot camps, and stay tuned for our next video.